Now, your most accurate forecast with meteorologist Nakandra Norwood.
Well, we've gotten a couple pictures in of some of the activity around. Peter sent us this from Napoleonville, and this was right at 4:15. You can just see the rain shaft, dry and sunny on this side and stormy here. Well, we'll fast forward that to what was going on in Gramercy now. This was right about at 5 o'clock, and look at all of that heavy rainfall, maybe a little bit of hail in there, but look at what it left behind. You saw the swing turned over, lots of areas, maybe a shed damaged, and also you can see that some of that protection that's around the base of this home knocked out as well. Some strong winds moving through right at the top of 5 o'clock here, and the storm report from the Weather Service says that the windows were blown out of a store as well as a number of trees uprooted. All of that along the lines ahead of these storms that were making their way to the south. The latest warning is actually in Terrebonne Parish, and that remains in effect for a few more minutes, but maybe extended here as we are continuing to see lots of lightning and heavy downpours with this storm that's right over Houma. Just heard from Clarence, our weather watcher there, and he says it is really coming down in the lightning like you would not believe. So if you are in the area, try to stay put. You've got a while yet, maybe about an hour before we start to see things lightening up. Now, we'll take this back out a bit and show you that there are still some showers and thunderstorms down south across the southern end of Plaquemines and then back into the river parishes as well. But we're starting to see the northern edge of this really collapsing, and that is good news because it's been a nasty afternoon with this system. Looking back to the north here with our Landry Lake cam, a whole lot nicer than it was a little bit earlier. We still had a few of those white caps out on the lake, and look at the rainfall. More than 2 inches at Slidell. Got a chance to take a look at our weather watcher list there. 2.6 inches from Keith and Lacombe as those storms came through, and that's why there was also a flash flood warning for St. Tammany Parish that is now pushing along, and they're getting a chance to dry out a little bit as well. One thing the rain did, knock temperatures down. 70s on the North Shore, 80s right around the lake. You still got 93 at Baton Rouge. The rain hasn't hit the airport just yet. 90 at Lafayette as well, and Salt Point, 93. That's how warm we were earlier, and that's where we are going to get again over the weekend, which will allow all these dew points that are in the 70s to fuel showers and thunderstorms once again. It's actually high pressure that we're near, but we're right on the edge. Look at that circulation there as you see the winds back to our west out of the south, and we have that northeasterly wind in place. But what's happening is along the edge of that high, right in the middle, really hot, right along the edges, we've had the thunderstorms developing, and that's where we were this afternoon. That's where we're going to be again through the weekend. So thunderstorms following the path that's initialized very well, showing you exactly what happened this afternoon. Tonight, things die down quickly. By early morning, a beautiful start to the day once again, lots of sunshine, but then they bubble up again in the afternoon. So that's what we're going to have to be on the lookout for through the next couple of days. Big picture satellite and radar shows you that this is a huge upper system in here where you've got ridging to the west and troughing to the east. It's cool along the east coast. Well, we're not going to get in on any of that this time. We were lucky last week to get the actual front through here. The front stays to our north, washes out right in here, and there's just focus on the edge of this high pressure for us to get into more of these little disturbances moving around and giving us the opportunity for showers and thunderstorms. And maybe to add a little insult to injury, we're going to have those beautiful starts to the morning, but what you'll see here is that that dry air, it gets close, but it's in the upper levels. So as this sinks over us, we keep all the moisture at the surface, so we're going to stay muggy, and we're still going to have plenty of fuel for showers and thunderstorms. Once we hit those mid-90s in the afternoon, the storm tops get into that dry air, and that means that they have a higher opportunity to become strong to severe. So it's something we're going to be on the lookout for throughout the weekend here. Right now, 81 at the airport, dew points at 70. Again, it is high pressure, but we're right on the edge, so that's why we're getting the thunderstorms with the heat of the day. Partly cloudy with the storms lingering, then ending late, warm and muggy conditions in the 70s through the evening. Tomorrow, a dry start, sunny early. Get as much as you can done in the first part of the day. By the afternoon, we'll start to see those thunderstorms coming in, and they'll hold on late again right up until sunset, with a repeat as you go into Sunday. And then the one nice thing about the showers, we should start to see our temperatures trending downward towards our long-term averages in the low 90s. The marine forecast, fine as long as you stay away from the thunderstorms. You got to be very careful about that. Your weather phone's at 833-0000, and that Fox 8 weather app. Very helpful when we have these kinds of storms around, because you can really pinpoint your area.
All right. True. Thanks. Well, still ahead, the NFL's Big Blue have a Greeny connection.
2 Newman alums will be hooking up this coming season with the New York Football Giants. That story is in sports next.
From Louisiana's home team, this is Fox 8 News at 5:30 p.m.
With your Friday sports, and how about this? You're a high school quarterback being coached up by Peyton Manning, or you're a high school receiver being targeted by Eli Manning. That's not bad. Not too bad at all. And it's exactly what's happening at the Manning Passing Academy over in Thibodaux right now. Come next NFL season, though, Eli and fellow Greeny, Odell Beckham Jr. are going to be hooking up for the very first time as pros. And here's Garland Gillen.
Following a 7-9 season for the Giants, in which Eli Manning had a career-high 27 interceptions, it was time for New York to improve their offense. Big Blue decided to draft a former Newman Greeny, Odell Beckham Jr., to upgrade a struggling squad, a decision another Newman grad was in total agreement with.
Known Odell for a long time, and I think the first time I threw routes with Odell, he was a junior in high school at Newman, and kept up with him through LSU and watched him play numerous games. So I know his ability, and he was here yesterday and worked out with us here yesterday on the field, but he's going back to Arizona to train. So it was good to. He's a great talent, and he's going to help us out a lot this year.
Isidore Newman is a small Class 2A school with no state titles in football to their name. But thanks to OBJ, the Greenies have 3 first-rounders in the NFL.
Newman is not known to be a powerhouse football program. It's a small, obviously a small school that is big on academics, and sports are important, but to have Peyton and myself, and now Odell being drafted in the first round and come to the Giants. So, yeah, the chances aren't probably very good.
Eli and Odell make up only 2/3 of the Louisiana connection in New York. Ruben Randall, former LSU Tiger, also plays wide receiver. From Thibodaux, Garland Gillen, Fox 8 Sports.
The big basketball news of the day is, of course, the return of LeBron James to Cleveland, the team and the home state. He left 4 years ago, almost to the day, for Miami. It was viewed as pretty much a sharp stick in the eye when the Akron native, who took the Cavaliers to the finals his last year there, only to be swept by the Spurs, left. Honesty compels me to report that he was pretty much playing San Antonio 1-on-5 that year. James, who went on to take the Heat to the finals 4 straight years, winning 2 rings along the way, was an icon in Miami. But at the time, Cleveland fans were burning his jerseys. Team owner Dan Gilbert ripped James in an open letter on the team's website, which stayed there until earlier this week, when, supposedly, James' return became likely. James made the announcement via an essay through Sports Illustrated. He said he's glad to be a part of going home and proud of what he did with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade in South Florida. The hardest thing to leave is what I built with those guys. I've talked to some of them and will talk to others. He went on to say, nothing will ever change what we accomplished. Meanwhile, the Pelicans were indirectly affected by James' return to Cleveland. The Pels doing a deal with the Cleveland Cavaliers to bring in small forward Alonzo G. Important to the Cavs. Why? Because it frees up cap room in order to help max out LeBron James on his new deal up there. But important to the Pels, who need to make some room for big man Omer Asik and that deal with Houston. Highly possible then that G could be packed up and sent to Houston to that eventual end. He may not even make it to New Orleans, except to change planes.
All right. Thanks, Fred. You find yourself complaining about slow internet speeds? New technology could help change that.
More on the record-breaking test that researchers call a major breakthrough.
From Louisiana's home team, this is Fox 8 News at 5:30 p.m.
Babies fighting for their lives need a dose of what they crave the most, love. But there are times when it comes from someone you might not expect.
When we come through If they're sleeping, we keep moving on looking for another candidate.
Babies in a local neonatal intensive care unit need cuddling, but parents can't always be there to do the job. Be sure to join us as Carolyn Schofield introduces us to a special group of snugglers in Angel Arms tonight on Fox 8 News at 9. Well, a group of researchers just broke the broadband internet speed record, and the technology could help lead to some faster options.
The team at Bell Labs says it reached speeds of T10 gigabits per second. That's 1,000 times faster than traditional broadband. It's 10 times faster than Google Fiber, the fastest broadband currently available to consumers in the U.S. Don't expect to get the service at your house just yet. The technology hadn't been approved, but I mean, you can fly through that thing. Look at that.
I want it.
No, you have
I
to
need
wait.
it.
Yeah.
It's coming.
That's the news. Thanks for watching.
We'll see you back here at 9.
Fox 8 is proudly locally owned.
Or is she already in 10th?
I think
When I was senior. And I went to his proms when I was in college. Especially if she's a little church girl. She was probably like me, had never been on a date. She was 17, 18, had never been on. That was like my first date. I was a slow starter. So next year, maybe she'll take him to prom. He's tall. That's all that counts. You just need to be tall enough.
he will be tall.
I was like, tall enough is fine.
That growth spurt people say happens overnight. 1 minute they're little and that's what they do.
Come on. You know what? Wait, I'm using this. That's fine.
Right, and it's not good for them to grow that fast. Because their bones and stuff sometimes it causes.
All right. You good? Yes. In 3, 2, 1. Dry air headed south, but it's not going to help us out. I'll give you details coming up. For 10 in 3, 2, 1. A little upper level disturbance pushing by brought lots of thunderstorms around today. I'll let you know how it will affect Take 2 in 3, 2, 1. An upper level disturbance brought thunderstorms for this afternoon. I'll let you know what we can expect for the weekend coming up. Thank you. Thank you.